we are going to receive some hundreds of unaccompanied child refugees. And of course it was the Huguenots who gave refugee to the English language in this refuge. Although I belong to the less respectable Irish Huguenot tradition, here in England 50,000 Huguenots arrived around the time of the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, which of course, if you look at the proportion of the population, is equivalent to the arrival of 650,000 refugees today. And of course such an influx caused debate, a touch of xenophobia in Parliament, but almost instantly, of course, Huguenots began to make an enormous contribution to society, to the economy. And of course the mulberry tree, I'm going to present to Andy Ryder, to be planted here when this whole garden is redesigned around it. The mulberry tree is a symbol of that great benefit to the economy, because of course it was the essential nourishment for the silkworm, and we are surrounded by vestiges of Huguenots who were working at the silk industry. So it's a very symbolic tree. It's a tree which probably is derived, it comes from the Chelsea Physic Garden. It's a graft from something that was probably planted in the reign of James I. So it's a very historic tree, and I'm grateful again for partnership with the Conservation Foundation because they have all sorts of programs of taking very significant trees, producing grafts. The most recent one I've been concerned with before this is the marvellous yew, which is associated with the signing of Magna Carta. Having killed 2 yew trees already in previous programs, I'm so grateful to be given the third, and I promise to do better. But this one does look the most astonishingly healthy specimen, and with enormous pleasure, and remembering the work of so many colleagues and allies, and also, most importantly, the arrival of those young refugees today, I would like to present to you, Rector, this magnificent graft from a Morus Longinium of the reign of James I. Thank you.
Charlie, come and stand next to me while I just make a few comments in response. Firstly, just to explain the setting, these gardens are about to be redeveloped, and this will take pride of place. We've got over £500,000 set aside for Tower Hamlets, who are supporting that project, and Robert Myers Garden Associates, who are advising on the garden and have designed it and have identified this as the very spot where our friend here will go. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing was to say a couple of thank yous. I want to say thank you to the Heritage Lottery Fund, who supported this morning's event, and the Conservation Foundation. Where's David? There he is. For the tree. We're very, very grateful indeed. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to you, Bishop Richard. We are aware, because it's public now, that you're heading off in the new year. And I discovered that Henry Compton, the Bishop of London from 1675 to 1713, was very significant in opening the gates of this city to refugees. He served 38 years, so we're going to begin a petition today to keep you in office for another 20.
It was too long, we're still recovering.
But finally, just to say, it is an honour to be the rector in Spitalfields that has opened its doors for successive groups of immigrants over the centuries. And it's hugely significant that in 1736, when the church had been open just 7 years and its its organ had been installed. Our first organist here was Peter Preleur, who was himself a Huguenot, indicative of the way that that group of people very quickly assimilated into church and society here in London, across the nation. And great Stan is with us today, whose great ancestor was the sexton here at Christ Church, again from Huguenot descent. And really, Stan, you began our connection here in recent years with the Huguenot community, and Charlie's picked it up and ran with it. So can we hear it for Stan and Charlie, two local heroes? And until this is planted, I think it's going to go into the safe custody of Robert Myers, the garden designers. So if you want a picture with the tree this morning, do line up, because otherwise you might have to head to